Austin, so good to see you. Today we are talking through claiming Social Security at 62, what you are really giving up. Claiming your benefits early sounds appealing, but the trade-offs can be bigger than people expect, especially for high earners. So a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to claim early and then invest the checks. Why doesn't that strategy always work?
Yeah, I think on paper, Aaron, right? The reality is it sounds great. It certainly sounds wonderful, but I think the truth is, if anyone's been in the markets long enough, you understand that it's not a linear year by
Right.
year kind of projection, right? Is some years the market's up 10, 15, 20%. Some years it's down 15, 20, or 30%, right? In a really bad year. So we don't want to make a decision to, hey, let's claim early, assume we can earn this 8 to 10% historical average. Well, it's just not that simple. It doesn't move in a straight line where we can earn 8, 9, 10% a year. Whereas if we just wait to delay, say, until even full retirement age, that increase is a guaranteed kind of number. And it does work in a linear fashion, right? So you're kind of trading a certainty for uncertainty if we make that decision. And I think many times we often underestimate how difficult it is to get that consistent 8 to 10% in the market.
Right, right. Or even just to invest it. When it hits my pocket, I usually spend it, but that's my story. All right, now let's talk through the earnings test. Can you explain how the $1 for every two rule affects someone who's still working while claiming Social Security?
Yeah, this is something we talk about a lot with clients here at Patriot Wealth because I think it's overlooked from many folks' standpoint, right? Is this earnings test, if we begin collecting Social Security benefits before our full retirement age, right? So for this discussion, let's assume full retirement age is age 67. So if we begin at 62, 63, 64, anywhere in there, we have to be cognizant of this 24,000, I'm going to call it 500. Let's round up 24,500 earnings limit test, right? So if we earn over that threshold in a year where we are collecting Social Security benefits and we are not at our full retirement age, they withhold $1 for every $2 earned over that threshold, right? So if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to get X amount and you earn, say, $30,000, well, you're not going to get X amount. You're going to be left with Y because you weren't aware of this earnings limit test pre-full retirement age. So this is a really, really kind of nuanced and important rule.
Right.
Again, only affecting folks if you begin collecting your Social Security benefits before your full retirement age.
Right. And just to show people what this looks like in another way, can you walk me through the difference of, again, claiming at 62 versus full retirement age versus waiting until 70 if you're able?
Yeah, this is a great, great chart here, Aaron. I'm so glad you brought this up. It really kind of breaks it down in a very simplistic fashion, in my view, is I want to kind of draw everyone's eye to age 67, right? That's full retirement age for many folks we talked to today. And that is, that's your full retirement age benefit, right? So let's look at what happens to our benefit if we were to collect at the earliest possible time that we can, right? Age 62. That is a 30% reduction from our full retirement age benefit. And that is forever, right? For as long as we live, that 30% reduction remains in place. On the flip side of that, Aaron, if we were to wait until age 70, right, we get a 24% boost, or that commonly referred to 8% per year every year past our full retirement age. So really, it's a huge, huge delta, even if we were to look at 62 versus 67, let alone 62 versus age 70.
And now claiming Social Security is one thing, very important, right? But even more so if you're married. Walk me through how claiming early can affect your spouse, especially when it comes to survivor benefits.
Yeah, I would say this is another overlooked area, right? I think a lot of times we want to kind of break this decision into just how do I get the most out of Social Security, right? When in reality, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. So if we are, say, the higher earner of kind of the family, right, the higher earning spouse, and we decide to collect early before our full retirement age, we know that we get that reduced benefit. But we don't often think, how does it impact our spouse? Let's say, God forbid, a few years down the line after we begin collecting, we pass away. Our spouse now lives another 20 years longer, right? As the surviving spouse, you only get the higher of the two benefits, right? You don't get both. You don't get a percentage of both. You don't get yours plus the other spouse's in any capacity, right? It is simply the higher of the two benefits. And if we made that decision to collect early, we just reduced that benefit if we were the higher earner of the two spouses. So very, very important consideration, not only for your own planning, but for the longevity of your spouse's plan as well.
Austin, I'm so glad you had time to talk this through. I feel like this question is always top of mind with people who are concerned about the solvency of the program. A lot of people think they should claim at 62, so I'm really grateful we had a chance to talk through the math. If somebody would like to sit down with you, though, and figure out their own unique claiming strategy, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can give us a call at 919-322-4113 or send us an email at info@patriotwealthnc.com.
All right. Again, Austin, thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Aaron.